We're happy to be here, and this is my first grade class, and we just like to share some verses. Well, a few verses that we've learned this year. So.
Hey little guys, this is Matt the Lawn Care Little Guy, and I wanted to make another video about Yardbook because the last video I had a really great request, and it's something that I'm sure a lot of us Yardbook users are very interested in and just haven't figured out how. And I gotta say, Yardbook in many ways there's a pretty big learning curve on it, and adding photos to invoices or estimates is actually something that I've seen come up many times, and I had to do a little bit of research on myself. Where I found a little bit of my answer was from the Yardbook users Facebook page. John Payak, I believe, is the one that administrates that, and he is really, really good at Yardbook, and he's very much in touch with the program and also with its users. So I encourage you guys to check out that Facebook page. Again, that's the Yardbook users Facebook page. And the folks that gave me this suggestion was Florida Treasure Hunter. I'm gonna go check out your channel if you have some content on there, and I'm gonna try and learn your names. But I appreciate the suggestion for this video because this is a really great topic. So I'm going to turn you to the computer screen, and I will show you how to add a picture to the invoice or an estimate. Now I do have one disclaimer. There is no way currently to actually add a photo or a picture to an invoice or an estimate. But what it does add is a link where the customer, when they receive the invoice or estimate, that they can use that link and go and look at the pages that you have uploaded to their profile. So turn your attention to the computer screen and I will kind of take you step by step on how to do this. And for the privacy of my customers, I'm using a mock profile on the Yardbook, which if you're not logged in, it automatically goes to this and you can do whatever you want. So this is pretty cool. So go on to it, and I'm going to pick this first customer here. Okay, now I've just learned how to do this, so I might stumble a little bit, but hopefully not too much. And the way we do this is you first have to actually add a photo. Okay, so if you go right here where it says add a photo, this is to this property, it's property specific, you can add a photo. So click on that. The next screen is going to come up. You could either drag your photos from the computer in here, and you can select as many as you want by using the control button and then clicking on the photos. It'll group them all together, and then you can drag them over and drop them in here. But what I like to do, because to me it's a little bit easier, even though it's an extra step, is I like to add files. And I'm just going to use one of Lawn Care Little Guy photos, and just click it, and you could do the same thing. You can do control, click, whatever. We'll just do that, and we will open it. And then what it's going to do is it's actually going to add all three of these photos here. Now, it doesn't mean that they are actually uploaded at this point. You actually have to start the upload. So I'm going to hit start upload, or you could do it individually, but if you hit that one, it's going to do them all. We'll wait for it to do its thing. Now they are all uploaded. Okay, it's very, very important that you do this step, and the reason being is because if you just go to click or to add a photo to your invoice, your estimate, which you do have that ability to do, or it has that it looks like you can do it, but it won't give you any options to choose photos until you do this step. So you actually have to add these files and upload them to the properties, to the specific property before you can add it to a specific invoice. So now that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to an invoice. I'm going to go back to the customer. I'm going to click on the invoices. I didn't realize this, but I had my microphone not on me. So maybe this will sound a little bit better for you guys. And I'm just going to click anyone just for demonstration purposes. I'm going to open it up. And then I'm going to scroll down to here where it says add from existing photos. That's a very key phrase because it says add from existing photos, implying that you have to add photos to that property or to that profile. If you didn't do that first step that I showed you, then you will not have any photos here. So I'm going to click this, and there they are, right? All three of them are there because they're uploaded. If I did not do that first step, there would be no pictures here and you would have nothing to select. And this is where you can actually add it, add either attachments or photos. So I'm going to attach photos. I'll just click all three of these and I'm going to add to invoice. And then notice the screen that says the photos you selected will be added to your invoice. So in that respect, these photos are added to your invoice. However, they're not legit photos. Your customer will be able to access them online after you send them the invoice. So what that means is it's actually not going to put the photo, it's going to put a link to the photo that the customer can use to view whatever photos you have uploaded. So I'm going to hit OK here. And it's saving. Well, guys, I really hope that you're enjoying the Yardbook videos that I'm making. They may or may not be the best, but I hope that it's at least good information for those of you who are considering Yardbook or are using Yardbook and wanted to know. And again, I appreciate the question, and go visit that link in the description. There's another link that I want to share with you, okay? It's David's Tree and Lawn Service, all right? The reason why I'm sharing with you David's Tree and Lawn Service is because he reached out for me and he does a little something different that you may not be used to on YouTube. I've never seen a channel like this one, and I really like the idea of it. David does David Live. It's basically like a television program on YouTube, and he brings lawn care guys out to stream them through Skype. He takes you out on estimates with them. He kind of narrates some things. But it's a very, very different format, and he reached out to me and asked me if I would go live with him through Skype, and we are planning that as we speak. We're not planning for this Monday, but we're hoping for next Monday. Now, we all know that our schedules have to be flexible in the lawn care industry, so that may change or whatnot, but I will keep you guys posted. Follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm going to be putting out the updates on whether or not that's actually going to happen or if we're going to have to reschedule or whatnot. But I really want to see you guys watching, so go visit David's channel. The link will also be in the description. And then you can check him out, see what he's all about. I think you're going to like it a lot. So, thanks for watching my channel. Thank you for the new subscribers that I've gotten. I'm really thinking that I'm going to probably make it to 500 subscribers before the end of the year. And probably by next year, I'll be up to 1,000. I'll be monetized. Not that that's my goal, but I just appreciate the support, all of you. If you are new to my channel, I just appreciate it if you just hit that like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe as well. Share any video that you see with anybody you think that might have some interest in it. Now, if you have been watching my videos, you know that I am a supporter of Save the Storks. Save the Storks is my charity that I contribute to, and the way that I do that is I sell t-shirts on Teespring. So go visit my storefront on Teespring. That link is also in the description. Get yourself a Lawn Care Little Guy t-shirt, and the thing that's up next is my tag time. So I hope you enjoy that, and thank you for watching. If you're leaving me right now, pray for me. You know I'm praying for you. I'm Matt the Lawn Care Little Guy, and we'll see you next time. Okay, guys, this is what's on my mind this week for my tag time. God has really been impressing on me this week, a lot of things, but this one thing has really been sticking out to me, that God never leaves me. You know, sometimes when we have highs and lows, sometimes it's hard to actually sense the presence of God in our life, and I totally get that. I really do get that. And the reason for that is because in the very beginning, Adam and Eve, you know, they ate the apple. Even non-Christians, they know the story about the forbidden fruit. That's all about Adam and Eve. And what happened when they did that, they disobeyed the commands of God. And what it did is it put a curse on them and all of humanity of this sinful nature that we have. And what that does is actually puts a gap. It puts a wall in between us and God. And that was one of the first things that Adam and Eve did, was they fled out of the presence of God. And that's where we usually live until we come into relationship with Jesus. And then all of that changes. But somehow, even as Christians, we're walking through this life and we still find ourselves asking this question, God, where are you? Have you ever asked that question? Have you ever hollered that question, wondered why things are happening the way they're happening? Well, I don't have any answers for that, but there's one thing that I want you to be absolutely secure in, and that is that God never leaves you. God never forsakes you. Okay? I know it feels that way, but it has never happened. It's only happened to one person in this entire life, and I think you'd be surprised to know who it is. It would be our Lord and Savior, Jesus himself. When he was on the cross, do you know what I'm talking about? When he gave up his spirit, he says, my God, why have you forsaken me? That is the only time that God has ever turned his back on a human being. Now we know that we believe that Jesus is the Son of God, and he came down in the form of a man to live a sinless life, that he would go to that cross and be crucified. And it was part of his purpose that God would forsake him so that he would be able to take all the punishment that we deserve for our sin. But that's not true for you and me, because Jesus was forsaken, the one and only person in the whole wide world where God left him, forsook him. That is why it is true that God never leaves us or forsakes us, because we do not have that sin barrier anymore. We can actually be in perfect community. So if we feel like that God has left us, what I want you to know is it's not God that leaves us, but it's us that leaves God. He is always there for you, and all he desires for you is to turn towards him, to trust in him, to rely on him, to carry a relationship with him. He's there. He sees you. He knows what you're going through. And I want you to know that Jesus was forsaken so that you will be saved. So I apply that a lot of times in my life, or I'm trying to apply that a lot of times in my life, and just actualizing the legitimate presence of God in my life, that he is always there. So no matter what's going on in my life, I can have peace, because God is not a God of peace or of confusion, but he is a God of peace, as it is in all the churches of the saints. So it's everywhere across all believers. God doesn't bring confusion, he brings peace. So anyways, I hope that's encouraging to you guys. If you're in that spot right now and then you would like some prayer, you would like me to pray for you, feel free to send me a message, all right? I got an email in the description. Go ahead and email me. Let me know what I can pray for you for. I'd love to do that. I'd love to encourage you in the Lord. And if you have any interest in knowing more about the claims of Christ, or if you have questions about what it means to be a Christian, go ahead and email me too. I would love to have that conversation with you. And that's about all I have for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, I'm Matt the Lawn Care Little Guy, and you better believe I'm praying for you. Please pray for me. Love you guys. Peace.